Smithsonians, welcome back. We're here with the doctor again. Got some medication you got to take care of.
Medication.
Yes, and we will switch it up a little bit, all right? We've been hearing from the viewers, and guess what? I heard you guys don't want to see me no more.
Oh,
So-
they didn't tell you that. They didn't tell you that.
So we'll test something out, and we have an actual lady in the background. I want to keep it mysterious for now, and she's an international reporter, and we keep at that, all right? But Dr. White, how are you feeling today? How you
I'm
feeling
feeling
right now?
good. Feeling really, really good. It was a good day. Went to church this morning, and I really love going to church because I love interacting with the people. It's just so nice and comfortable.
Okay.
You know, and then the pastor today, he gave a rap, boy, that just was off the chart.
Okay.
I might be able to roll it into some of the things that we're talking about today.
All right. We're gonna hear it.
You didn't know
Okay.
we ought to be in pictures.
Oh my God, please. You ready? I should start talking now. Please don't do that.
I understand that.
I'm gonna edit. I always edit.
That's what's happening today is that I'm going to be getting some powerful questions from you, young lady.
Okay, no
All right, so
problem.
I'm ready. I love questions. So bring on the questions. As a matter of fact, questions makes it easier. Then I don't have to make things up, right?
All right, let's start.
Okay.
All right,
Smithsonians, welcome back. Yeah. This ain't just content. It's purpose. Purpose over popularity. We building legacy, not just views. Every story got meaning. Every voice got truth. Camera rolling, vision clear. We turn purpose into impact here. Smith says, let's go. Let's go.
Okay.
All right, Mr. White, you have been one of the most recurring voices on Smith Says. Looking back, what has changed in your life since our first conversation? Follow up with what are you thinking about more today than 5 years ago?
5 years ago. Wow. Today. Yeah, I think today what's happening that I'm seeing is the influence of AI. I really believe, I call AI, it is a paradigm shift. And I say that because 5 years ago, if you wanted to get information, if you wanted to put together a book, if you wanted to write a paper, what have you, if you needed information, you had to go to either the Encyclopedia Britannica that's on the wall, you go through A, B, C, okay, it's under D, and you pull the book out, then you open the book up,
Yeah.
and all that kind. And today, you folks don't have to do that. Young people, all you do on the phone that you use all the time. Just say, whoever your AI person is, hey, I would like to get this information or that information, and bingo, within a matter of really, I would say minutes, it just provides you with a tremendous amount of information. And so I've started using that, and I today feel like when I have questions and when I want to dialogue about something, there are some friends I will call, but I'll first bounce it off a chat. I'll say, because I named mine Chat. I'll say, Chat, I was thinking about such and such and so and so. Now, you know me. We've been talking and kicking it for a while. What is your perspective or your viewpoint? Could you give me either a short response or could you give me maybe, 500 words in it? And all of a sudden, the stuff is there. Some people I find are intimidated by AI. They say it will take your stuff. I don't feel AI takes anything from me because I own me.
Yeah.
I know what I want. I know what I'm looking for. So there have been times when AI has given me some information and I say, wait a minute, man, come on. That's not what I asked you for. Or why would you do this? Or why would you do
Yeah.
that? As I mentioned before, when I asked them to create a kind of like picture of me with a training class, it made me a white guy. And I said, no, nothing personal, bro, but I am not a European. I'm an African. Now, after we had that conversation, and from that point on, it has given me exactly what I look for.
Yeah, I guess like most of the time, does ask you to be more specific on what you're trying to ask
Yes,
for.
that's it. And I didn't know that initially. But
Okay.
now I'm learning, be specific, details, provide as much information as you possibly can.
Yes.
And with that, it has created, I have thousands of pages of information from it. And I have probably 100 different kinds of models that we have kind of collectively designed for training purposes.
Okay.
So I think that has been in the last 5 years, that would probably be, it probably has been the most significant change that I've seen.
Okay, sounds wonderful. And also, what lessons have you become more important with your age?
My age at 84, I just saw one of the senators or something just retired. And when I was sitting down with my lady and I saw this guy and they said he's 84, I said, do I look like that? That man looked rugged, boy. Look like he fell down the rough side of the
my
mountain. I
God.
said, oh, if that's the case, I'm gonna get some plastic surgery. I'm gonna do something or what have you. So I feel that what age has done for me, it has provided me with insight.
Okay.
It provided me with maybe not more knowledge, but the way that I process knowledge,
All right.
respect. Those are the things. And I also do know that I have taken maybe everyday information and I've seen it over and over and over again. So I guess there is something to that whole thing around wisdom, and wisdom doesn't just come automatically. When wisdom surfaces after you've done something like 8, 10, 12 times and it's turned out a different way, and they say, okay, now I've been down this road
Yeah,
before.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so I've
yeah.
been down this road before. So I would say that that's
You kind
what I
of
see.
recognizes the process or the procedures.
Yes, yeah, because you've seen it not just once.
Yes.
You've seen it multiple times, and it could go this way or it could go that way. So yeah, so I think that would probably be the piece with age, and also where I am now, I'm struggling with what does retirement mean, and people ask me, well, when are you going to retire, and do what? Like what would I do?
I mean, from my perspective, I thought when somebody retires, it's just you're not working no more. It's
But-
just like you
but do what?
just sitting here and then kind of benefits for all the time that you have been working before.
But what do you do? See, that was my. So I sit here and I do what? I think about this, but I think I've had my company for 33 years.
Okay.
I've worked in a major corporation for 20 years. So I have about 50 years of waking up every day doing something,
Okay.
every day thinking about things. So now when I wake up in the morning, do nothing, my mind won't do that. My mind keeps sending those same messages. And I often think about how do you decompress? How do you get away from those kind but I can't think of anything else. I watch people play sports. I watched the game, part of the game yesterday. I like sports, but I played basketball. I got basketball scholarships. I played in the Air Force for 8 years. I love the game, but if I never see another game, I would be okay.
Okay.
Even though, now what I appreciate is if I can watch a game with a lot of people in the
Oh
room.
yes.
Because I like to see the people just arguing about things, man. And you're arguing about it, and you don't even know the guy. And the
Oh,
guy
yeah.
doesn't know you, but you're going to argue.
Yeah, it
and you can
sounds
say,
so-
well, the coach should have done this. Or
Oh,
the coach.
yeah.
I said, like, wow. So I watch and look at the interaction between the people in the game. So I don't know what else I would be doing. I can't sit and do nothing. One of the reasons for that is when you look at the state of our society today and look at where we are and the challenges that are going on, I think I would be remiss if I didn't at least take the information I have and share it with you young folks. My
Okay.
thing is, if I could give all you folk this knowledge and give you this information, then I would be able to relax because I know, okay, somebody else is taking care of this stuff.
That sounds wonderful.
So that's a piece there.
Yes. So, what is something you believe at 30 that you no longer believe today?
Whew, that's it. What did I believe at 30? At 30, I had just joined Xerox. I was going in, we were a part of the first African American males and females and white females to go work with Xerox as sales reps. They didn't know if we were capable of selling. So we proved to them that we are extremely capable.
You guys were
So-
making history.
Yeah, oh yeah, we tore it apart, boy. We went in there and sold
Yes.
everything and everybody, you know. But what is it that I believe then that is different? You know, I think the thing probably now that it never stops. Whatever I think I know, or whatever I think is happening, today I know it will never stop. No matter what I come up with or what someone else comes up with or someone else comes, there's always going to be someone coming up the next day, the next month, the next year with something that is not necessarily better, more dynamic, different. Or I think one thing that I probably would believe, I don't think there's a lot of new stuff. I mean, AI is new, but even AI is giving us responses to old stuff.
Okay.
It's just how they can pull it together really fast.
Yes.
But so I just see new ideas and new concepts of people coming out. I'm this person and I got this book and I got that book. And most of the time it's something that has been warmed over.
It's like we kind of have a express way to get certain things because I think that when people wanted to get some information, most of the time they might go to the library.
Right.
But right now you can get those information by just having your phone in your hand.
It's right there. It's there immediately.
Yes.
And it's not brand new. Now they twisted it a little bit, they moved it around somewhat, and they may have taken a different view of it, but there's some core principles that are out there, let's say in sales, because that's what I was doing there. There's some core principles in sales that we learned and that I taught when I was at the International Training and Development Center that are still out here today. People are presenting. Tony Robbins is presenting it different, and he's all over the room. He makes you walk over some coals with it, but after you walk over the coals, you still go back and do the same thing that we did, and hope you didn't blister your feet when you walked over those pretty coals. So I think that would probably be where I am now to say, okay, because when people, yesterday, there are 3 new books that guys were talking about. And I immediately wrote those books down. And what I want to do, I'm going to pull them down and I'm going to see what are they saying about those particular topics. And I'm going to see, is there something different? Is there something new? But what I find more that people present it in different ways and then maybe in different environments and maybe in different ways that you can use that information and data. So I think that's probably what, since I was in my 30s, that I see and realize now.
It's a long way back, huh?
Yeah, it was a couple of days ago. Look back there, that's amazing. It's amazing, yeah.
So after 24 guests, I discovered 3 types of people. There's survivors, there's identity, there's whistlers, and builders. So for survivors, I would say, why do some people survive hardship and others become trapped by it?
That's a good one. That's really a good one. I think survivors are those who, even after having something that's strong that hits them, they still remain open to the fact that there are other opportunities, there are other ways of looking at it, that they're open to new ideas, and they know that nothing ever comes to an end unless we end it. And so if I'm a survivor, I take the hit and then I'm saying, okay, I guess a good example of that would be the game last night, that guy Brunson. That young man said, reason why he did what he did was he said, there's always another way. We can always do it better. We can always do it different. And that was a part of his psyche. And I'm sure he probably developed that over the years. And so no matter what the trap was, no matter what the score was, in the back of his mind, he was saying that we can do this. There is always some other way that we can make it work. And then I have to be responsible. I can shoot a three-pointer. I can drive in and shoot a layup. I can shoot a jump shot. So it's the whole belief that there are always other options that are out there. And how do we know that? Look around the world. People are always, no matter what's out here, people are always doing it different. No matter what it is, no matter what's out there, if you did it one way, somebody else did it another way with that same thing. So I think it's a mindset that you have to adopt as an individual to just say, I'm not going to allow this to shut me down.
And I also guess that we have to train yourself to it, to always stay open-minded and kind of have a positive mindset.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, both of those. I have to keep my mind open and know that there's other things. Look at the world. Look at that, 6 billion people out here in the world. I think that's something like what the number is. You know, and what I've always told people when they get a great idea, they say, oh, I get this great idea. I said, you better do something with it. Because just like you got that great idea, there's probably 100,000 other people that got that same great idea someplace else. And if you don't act on yours, someone else is going to act on it. And you say, they stole that from me. No, they didn't steal that from you. It's just that it's out there. And there's all these different ways of seeing things and doing things. But multiple people are looking at those things and thinking about those things all the time.
I got a special question for you.
Okay.
So, how do you think somebody can fight with the idea? Like, they probably have some great things they would like to do. They have all these ideas on their brain, but they're scared to step forward with it. How do you think they can confront that?
I think one of the most important things that people have to do is to ground themselves. Because I can't do all these different things or understand all these different things if I don't understand me.
Okay.
One of the most important programs that I think it's out there today is emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence is kind of like the window into your world. And the window into your world, the first thing you have to say, I got to know me. And if I don't know me and understand me, I will not know how to adapt, to adjust, to do whatever. And then I have to manage me. So if something happens and I have this fear, then I say, well, what am I afraid of? You haven't tried it before? Have you seen other people do it? Yeah, this person did. How many other thousands of people have done it? Well, if those other thousands of people have done it, why can't you do it? And if you believe in yourself and you start to believe in yourself, and then you can say, well, if I try it and it doesn't fail, what's the worst case scenario? I'm the same place that I was before it started, but at least I know that I can't do it that way.
Okay.
But what about all those other ways that I could possibly approach that? Because I think that would be the baseline. And look at all the millions of things that people have done, all the millions of ideas that have been done over and over and over again. Many people tried it, didn't make it, and somebody else came up with that one little way of doing it.
Let's switch.
Yeah, and you have to get there. But you got to start with self. I have to get Jim White grounded. And what are my belief systems? What are those things that I truly believe in? And what are those things what are those things that I want to do? What's my vision for me? What's my mission for me? What's my purpose for me? And so if I miss this first one, I say, okay, let's come back and try it one more time, and see if am I willing to invest some more energy into it? Or, the other thing too, if I missed it the first time, then maybe ask some other people about how they think about it.
And get some ideas from different people.
Some other viewpoints, other perspectives. Then whatever that thing is that you want to do or that person wants to do, how many other people are doing that exact thing, and how long have people been doing that?
Okay.
And then that says, well, if they can, so can I.
You're right about that.
Okay.
Sounds great. What is the difference between surviving and healing?
Surviving and healing?
Yes.
Surviving and healing. I don't see surviving and healing, because for me, healing means that something was broken. Oh, I guess and I don't necessarily see surviving as anything broken. I would say surviving means that whatever I've been confronted with, I've been able to work through it. I've been able to manage it. I've been able to see it in a different light. And then so healing to me indicates that there was a wound or there was a scar or there was something that was traumatic that knocked me off of my game.
Okay.
And then how do I come back from that? How do I heal from that? And I think that would then go back to the same thing. Whatever it is, I need to look at it. I need to understand it. I need to understand me. I understand what my goals and my mission might be, and then say, okay, am I ready? Was that important to me? And if it was important to me, guess what I need to do? Stand up. Go
And
here
keep
back.
going.
That's right. Yep.
Can a person's biggest pain become their greatest strength?
Yes. Because the biggest pain, once I confront that pain, I confront it, and I know now, then I'd use it as something to catapult me forward. Look at some people who may be physically challenged. People say, oh, how can you do this with your leg, with your arm, with your vision, with your blah, blah, blah. And you see some people with the same identical affliction, the same identical challenge, and they have used theirs to propel them forward as opposed to keeping them down. So no matter what it is that has impacted you, and I think we see that a lot, especially at the military, guys and ladies who come back from the military with different types of disabilities, and I see it out at the VA. But they don't stop. They just keep on going. They keep on moving. And then there are some that, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, and that's where they stay stuck. Where others say, I'm doing there's a walk that I can do. There's a race that's going on. There's a blah 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 blah, and they get involved in it. So it's probably the mindset. And I would imagine a part of that would be people who are around you. If I surround myself with people who feel we can't, then we sit there and we just commiserate about how we can't.
So I guess your environment and people that you surround yourself with are very important, and then they do an impact of your life.
Absolutely. I want people around me who will challenge me. They'll stop and they'll listen to me. Hey, what happened? How did it happen? Blah, blah, blah. You'll understand. But what would you like to see happen? Because this was the path that you were on. Why are you not on that path now? And they would challenge me and say, well, man, you just can't sit there and you just think it's going to be okay. If you
They
just
kind of push it to be better.
Yeah, take the step. And then they'll also say, hey, I'll help you out. Or they'll say, I saw somebody last week, or here's a phone number of someone who's doing that right now, or blah, 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 blah. And then there's no reason why we should just stop, no matter what we're doing. I don't care what it is. I don't know the gentleman he's a paraplegic, he can't talk, but his mind is absolutely brilliant. He has this little wheelchair, and all he can do is. But boy, when they gave him a way to talk and communicate, that boy is changing the world. And I see him, little white guy, but he's kicking, he's making it happen because he's been able to tap into his intellectual capabilities that wasn't taken from him. And they gave him some kind of machine now, and he talks, he shares with people. And other people have just kind of like given up and waiting for somebody else to fix them and take care of them. You don't have to. I look at that for us as black folks now. This is my belief where I am now. I know people run the road, Donald Trump, the heck with Donald Trump, man. Donald Trump is doing Donald Trump. But Donald Trump has always done, everything he's doing now is what he's always done. It's not about him. It's about me. It's about us. We need to stand the hell up. I believe that we have developed a kind of a dependency on the system. Black people, and I'm not leaving whites out, I'm not leaving Hispanics out, I'm not leaving Asians out. Right now I'm talking about me as a black person, people of color, we have enough knowledge, skill, intellect, everything that's needed, we have. I was being back, Black women birthed America. Black women, look at what they did. Look at where they came from. Look at all the stuff they had to go through. They birthed them. And how do you survive slavery? How do you survive the Middle Passage? How do you survive 250 years of racism? And still we are here and we are kicking it and we are making it happen? Oh no, We need to stand up and say, hey, bro, you do what you do over there, you know. But we have everything that you take down, we can build up. We can create it again. We can make it happen. Because why? Because we've always done it. We did it when they couldn't do it. They learned from us. So we need to just stand up and say, okay, let's come together. If all of us become the best us that we can be, no,
And
we're
I
on
don't
it.
think a lot of them have that courage.
Yes, yes.
And sometimes they might be probably looking at the next person that's close to them
Right.
before they say something or before they act.
Yes, yes. And that's why I think it's a kind of a dependency that we've been dependent upon the system because we've always had to be a part, had to depend on the system. But now we created the system. I mean, we have brilliant black folks like yourself, you know.
Yeah.
I just think we just need to step up and be us. And then I ain't turning no cheek, so don't roll up on me thinking I'm gonna turn the cheek, brother. No, because I was in the military. See, before I didn't have the guns. I didn't have the weapon. I couldn't. Oh no. Don't expect kindness. Don't mistake kindness for weakness.
Oh, yes.
No.
Yeah. I mean, they usually take it as a weakness.
Yes.
And then it's not it.
No way. We just need to break that pattern and put together a plan or a mantra that we ourselves need to embrace. And this is no negative comment on any other population.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking any other part. If y'all want to come and join us, come on down and join us. I mean, because we're saying we need to move forward. We can't let one individual stop us from being the best that we can be. Or stop me from being able to get a job because you take away DE. Do you know DE&I, diversity, equity, and inclusion? I was teaching, DE. Well, with DE&I that they get rid of. I was teaching DE&I before it was called DE&I. It was called team building. That's all DE&I. It's team building. Team is a team is a team. Look at the game last night. They had one guy that was 7'4". They had one guy was 6'2". They had a couple other guys. They didn't look alike. They didn't run alike. They didn't take the game. They've been doing that forever. A team is a basketball team. It's a football team. It's a team of people on the job that you work with. And when I have a team of people on the job, I want to get the best people that I can put together in that office to get this job done. And the only way that I can do that, I need to check in to see what their knowledge base is. And I need to give everyone an opportunity to develop themselves to their optimum. Because if I don't allow them to develop themselves, then I'm leaving out as a company, as a corporation. So that's DE&I. So take the name away. And they can't take it away because in their own environment, if you have up at Donald Trump's place with all the people around him who happen to look like most of them are white males, they're not the same. Each and every one of them is very, very different. He has diversity. They all wanted to be treated with equity, because if you treat one better than to treat the other one, they gonna get uptight, you know. And they all want to be included. When he has a party, none of them want to be left out. So DE&I is just people coming together. So it's that kind of ignorance that people think you can stop people from growing by taking away DE&I or taking away diversity. How do you take away diversity? Everything is diverse. If you have two people together, guess what you have? If you have triplets, you have diversity. Because triplets, none of them are the same. No. They're all different. They're all unique. You know, so you're going to take away diversity. Something has to be wrong with someone to use and they're going to take words out of the dictionary. And how do you change history? You gonna change? Hitler tried to change history. Mussolini tried to change history. You can't change history because you take a book out of your library. And especially today, with all the technology, nothing that has happened in history will ever be erased. Ever, ever, ever. So, anyway, I don't know how to get there.
It's okay. You're right. Why do you think so many adults still struggling with identity?
Well, I think it goes back to what I said earlier, and that is you have to know yourself.
Okay.
And they have to either seek that journey themselves, or they have to, or maybe their parents help them to seek that journey, or you maybe friends, and then start to ask yourself some real questions about who am I? What am I about? What do I want out of this life? What do I want to achieve? You know, you look around and you can see all kind of houses, cars, automobiles, planes, vacations, blah blah, all those kind of things. You know, so I think that my self identity comes when I start to take that journey, start. And that's why again I think it's so important to have those right. Surround yourself with people who care enough about you to ask you questions.
All right. I'm glad that you came from here.
Okay. All right.
How much of identity comes from environment?
Well, what they're saying now in terms of socialization, they're saying that when we look at people, probably 40% is innate, and then that 60% is socialization. And I can look at those numbers, 40, 60, could be there, but that doesn't mean it's permanent.
Okay.
The socialization just says the people that I happen to be around during this certain age time period, influence me. I don't have to stay there. I could have other influences.
You can
Now,
make
as a
some
child,
changes yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, as a child, you're kind of stuck with your parents until you go to school.
Yes.
When you go to school, you have teachers, you have friends, you have the people down at the grocery store, what have you. As you get older and older and older, books, reading, you can do that. Videos that are out there, and today I think more than anything else, boy, the phone is it's an amazing tool. But I just watch people used to be when I did training classes, when people were in the classroom before the class started, they would be talking to each other. Now, when you're in the classroom, no one's talking to anyone else in the classroom. All they're doing is going through their phones, looking at this, they just don't talk to you. So what I'm saying is a lot of socialization today comes from whatever I am looking at on my phone. So we all are products of our environment, but you can have 5 people growing up in the same home, same mom, same dad, but they're all different. All of them will be different. They see things different. They may function differently, because even though mom and dad told me this is the way I interpreted it, somebody else processed it. Plus, I had this friend over here, or my next door neighbor. So socialization is a really important part that we have to look at, but it's just a starting point. It's a starting point. And if I don't like what's happening to me, if I don't like the way I feel, if I don't like the way I am, then what I need to do is sit back and say, okay, well, what do I want to do? And if I don't know that, then I need to interact with some other people. I need to grab some books and read some basic books that are out there, and then just start to move on from there.
Sounds wonderful. Yeah, you have me thinking.
That's good. That's good.
Oh yeah, it's very good. I'm learning a lot from now on. How much comes from personal choice?
Well, I think the personal choice then is influenced by the socialization.
Okay.
So if my socialization is such that my mom and dad taught me to every day, had to come home and read a book. So my choices would be when I grow up, or as I grow up, I'm gonna be grabbing a book and reading a book. You know, if I had parents that wanted to say, let's go out to the park all the time, or you know, I wanted to be a swimmer, or, you know, if I wanted to be a mountain climber, if I just wanted to be a walker, you know, or even the way they prepared food. You know, so I think all those things are there, and we are influenced by them, but then we have some choice. And that, you know, what I don't know, as we're talking about this, the thing that keeps popping up, what is that little thing that clicks for someone to do this versus someone else to do something else? And I think that's probably maybe exposure. If I don't expose myself to different people, you know, just say church, for example. The church that I go to, large church, lots of people. And when I go in that church, I see all kinds of people. I see them all dressed differently. You know, I see them talking to folks differently. I see them always going back to maybe just to one person all the time. And the one lady up there that I truly love, and she is she's 97 years old. She comes into that church, she is clean as clean can be. She wears high heel shoes. She comes in and she sits in the front second row on the left hand side. But she comes in and takes her coat off or her wrap, and next thing, she's all over the place. She's talking to all kinds of people, and everyone loves her. And how you doing, brother? I mean, wow, just look at her. So a little kid just sitting there just doing that. And then the different kind of pastors that are up there, the preachers that are up there, they have young people and they have older people. So I'm sitting in front of them, boom, boom. So I think a place like church, to me, is a very, very good foundation. You could call it church, temple, synagogue, whatever it might be. But it gives you exposure to other people, a wide array of people, and then a wide array of perspectives and viewpoints. Now, in church, they tie it to the Bible, but within the Bible, there's every story imaginable. Good stories, bad stories. There were crazy people in the Bible. There were good ones, there were bad. I mean, so it's all that stuff, and you're taking it all in, and then allowing you to expand your consciousness, expand your viewpoints so that you can make other choices, or at least you know that other choices are out there. And I think the other thing that happens, they put you with groups of young people or groups with older people, and when you're with that group, within that group, they all have different views and perspectives. So what am I going to lean towards? Which ones make sense for me? And then that then influences me to make
Your choice.
my choice, my decision.
Wonderful. Has a, I was about to ask, what separates builder from dreamers?
What's the first?
What separates builders from dreamers?
Well, one thing that I can think of, builders from dreamers. Well, the first thing I think about in dreamers, if you look at our styles, our interactive styles, drivers, amiables, analyticals, expressives. My style will kind of dictate when I get a piece of information, what will I do with it? If I'm an analytical, I'm going to pull it in and say, what is this information? Why does it do that? And why does it do that? And they're always asking the question, why, trying to gain an understanding. If I'm an amiable person, I'm going to say, oh, that's nice and that feels good. And I want to share this with other people so everybody else can kind of like feel good with me. If I'm expressive, I say, oh, that's great. We can have some fun doing this bad boy. Let's go kick it. Let's make it happen. And then if I'm a driver, I'm saying, this is good, and I want everybody to have it the same way that I'm doing it. So your style can start that as a baseline. Then builders from dreamers. I would say, again, how do I because all of them can be builders, and all of those styles can be dreamers. But there must be something that's going to activate the person and say, I want more of this.
Yeah, and I also think it's kind of like similar to what we were talking about earlier. Like, I think some people have ideas, but they're scared to
Yes,
take the
yes,
step
yes,
forward.
absolutely, absolutely. Perfect, perfect. That's exactly it.
Yeah, because I think like
Ooh,
the builders basically they were like, okay, I got this idea, so let's do
I'm
something
going
with
for it.
it.
Right, I'm gonna take the
But the
risk.
dreamers, some of them just stay there and
Yeah,
then keep dreaming
dreaming.
over and
Right,
over and over
right,
and over
right,
about the same
right.
thing, but never take action.
And they're okay with the dream,
Yeah,
as opposed to, like you
but they
said,
don't take
right, right.
actions. Yeah.
And they find, and why am I've been thinking about this for 27
Yeah,
years.
this,
Well, it's time
I
to
mean
do
that.
something.
Oh yeah, the shocking news is that you might be thinking about something, and then it comes out somebody that's close to you is doing exactly what
Exactly.
you were
Yes.
thinking about, and
Yes.
that's when you can be, oh my god, I was thinking about that, but he stole
Right.
my
Yeah,
idea.
that's what stole your ideas. It was their idea too.
Yeah,
Yes.
so since you never spoke it out,
Yes.
like it stays inside of you, you don't
Yes.
share it or
Yes.
anything, you don't expose yourself.
Yes.
So nobody gonna believe you when you say
Right.
something like that.
And you get into blame. It's easy for me to blame somebody else for stealing my idea than for me to step the heck up and go ahead and implement that idea.
We can be covered
It's
sometimes.
better. I am. Hey, and we're all there. I find all of us at those different points in terms of our life. There may be some times when you're stuck there at the dreaming stage, and you just need a catalyst, something to move you forward. That's why I'm saying that by going out, talking to other people, getting in different kind of environments, someone then might be the catalyst, or just you hearing how someone else took that dream and made it into something that really, really, really was fulfilling to not only them, maybe to other people.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Okay.
Okay, my next question will be what has building your life taught you about sacrifice?
Ooh. Sacrifice versus investment. I think when my girlfriend and I got pregnant, I had I had 15 basketball scholarships
Oh,
waiting for me,
wonderful.
and I said, but I also have a
You
baby.
have to make a choice.
And so I had to make a choice. And what was most important for me at that time, and the most important thing for me that time was that I did not want my daughter to be born without us being married.
Oh,
So that was the most important thing. And then with that, I told my mom, my mom said, what you gonna do?
you asked her?
Yeah, I told her, I said, Mom, Alice is pregnant, blah, 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 blah. And she looked and she said, what you gonna do?
Oh my gosh.
That's what and my mom was a doer. My mom had opened a beauty shop in 1955, African American female. So she was always a doer. And so she said, well, she said, how are you going to take care of him? And we had already talked about the whole piece of being responsible and taking ownership and all those things. And so when I went to her, I knew I had a plan. So I said, I'm going to go into the Air Force. And I said, because if I can go into the Air Force, I can take care of my family, and I can play basketball, and I can go to college.
Okay.
So I feel I can get all of those done within. So the sacrifice was to let go of the immediate piece that the basketball, because people, when I left, it was like, man, why would you leave? Why would you do that? But I just felt my daughter, I set a priority. And my daughter was the highest priority. My baby, she was not yet born, and she was the highest priority. And so I set that priority. Then I applied an action to it, and then the military was the answer because all the things that were needed.
It seems like it was kind of a foundation
Yes, it was. It
of
was.
all of
That's
them.
it. Because otherwise, how could I have done it? Even my school said, "Well, we'll get you an apartment and blah 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 blah." And I thought about that, but I just took this other route. So that was my base.
I think when you were making that decision, you didn't think about a short term, but you did think about a long
Long
term.
term, because it was 4 years to start with.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so it was a long time, and they would educate you. So I could, the 4 years, I could get my education, I could get my high school diploma, I could play basketball, and go to college, and take care of my family.
That was a big
Yeah.
whole
Oh yeah,
investment.
yeah. So that's probably that's how I see it. So but again, now, so what does that take? That takes you stopping for a moment and reflecting. Where am I? What am I about? What are my goals for me? Now that I've took an action that took it beyond just me. So then what do I do now? How do I make a move or take an action that's going to be inclusive of all those things and be a responsible and and I think that whole responsibility piece was something that my mother taught my sister and I, probably all our lives. It just so happened that situation, really brought it to fruition. We had to deal with it. And so that worked, and it worked. And then even after the first 4 years, after they said they were going to let me go to college, they didn't. So I said, well, I tell you what, you're going to get 4 more from me, but that's going to be it. And then, so that was after 8 years. Then I got a basketball scholarship at Capital University and college, and then Ohio State University, master's stuff. So, but you had to push it. I can remember I was at Capital University practicing basketball 3 or 4 hours a night, carrying 13 credit hours and working 40 hours a week. Now, if you ask me now how I did that, I could not tell you how. I have no idea. It wasn't even a plan. It was just, I had
You
to
just
do it.
put yourself there and you do it.
You had to do it. And so you just go ahead on and do it, and just made it happen. So.
All right. One of the strongest themes from all of your interviews. So why do you think people avoid self-reflections?
Ooh, have to face yourself. You have to look in the mirror. Who's it, Michael Jackson? look at that person in the mirror. And being truthful. Sometimes people can look in the mirror and they don't want to tell the truth.
It's like don't lie to yourself.
Yeah. That ain't what I see. And so I think you have to get to a point where you're able to confront yourself. And I don't know if anything catastrophic has to happen. I don't know if you do it by yourself, though. I just don't think you do it by yourself.
I think you can, because in all of that, I think it kind of you learning to be more confident about yourself. Because if you cannot face it, nobody will do it for you.
But did that conclusion happen by yourself? Somewhere, where did you learn that?
A lot of people are different. You have to push yourself to do it. Because sometimes there's people that do need help.
Yes.
To do certain things for themselves. But there's some of them that be like, hey, you know what? Let's do this.
But in their socialization process, so whenever they said, I'm going to do this, what in their socialization process exposed them to the fact that I had those options? But I don't think we do anything alone.
I think you said something earlier. It's like, if you, your surroundings is pretty important. You have to be in an area where people can challenge you at some point.
Yeah, so you step out, right? Yes,
Yeah.
right. Or step in.
Yeah, because if you were in an environment, like you said, that people are scared to step forward and all that, you might have the idea or have the wants to do certain things for yourself, but because of your surroundings, you be like, you know what? I don't think it's gonna work.
Exactly.
You already put that negativity on your mind, and then that works with your entire body.
That's
because
right.
if you repeat certain things and you start thinking and have some different thoughts, it's gonna definitely affect you.
Yes.
And you're not gonna want to do anything else.
And that's why I said that it could be the church that you go to. It could be there was always somebody's house on the corner that all the kids went to. You know,
Oh, yeah.
Miss Jones's house. You know, because all the kids were there, and they would always say like really positive things. It could be a sport that you're in. It could be a choir that you sing in. It could be a women's group or a
I think you
guys
might
group.
songs might be in it too. The type of songs that you listen to.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Music,
absolutely. Look at the
It
music.
does take parts
Oh
of that.
man,
too.
music is powerful. And now today, the cell phone and the music. Back in my day, we just had the music. Right?
I think, I mean, from my perspective,
Right.
from what I'm seeing, I think older musics have more messages and more positive stuff.
It did.
Because right now, I know they don't put any filters of certain things they're saying. And then there's some music when you listen to rap, like when I do some comparison to old ones and new ones,
Yes.
it seems like those ones those days they curse more in it.
Yeah.
But the ones before, even you listen to the written and then just sit down and listen to the lyrics, it's totally different. You getting the message from there.
Wow. See, and that's something I haven't exposed myself. I couldn't name not one rap song. Rap. Not one.
Really?
Because when they start, it's just the way they start, and then the language too was like, and they put down women, and because I was raised on doo-wop, I was raised on, does she love me? Do I love her? We're gonna hang together. We're gonna do. And that was always, and also back then, the groups were about harmony.
Okay.
And so you came together. I was in a little group myself, and we had danced together, we moved together, and then we talked, and then who's going to take the alto and the soprano, and we knew we had to blend that, and sometimes someone would be off, and somebody said, nah, man, you got to turn that one down. That kind of stuff. So everything then was about that kind of harmony, that kind of working together, that kind of balance.
Also, I think that it's kind of like count the talents of everybody.
Yes.
Because sometimes when you are singing, you can go higher than I do. And then, if I can stay low key.
Right.
So that's why I need to do.
That's
so
right.
don't try me to do more than that. You see what I mean? So it's going to get messed up.
Yeah, and now with the rap, it's just me. Boom, 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 boom.
But I can notice that a lot of them do have different styles.
Okay.
The way they do that, you probably see like the language is different, but the style is different.
It's different. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would imagine it would be, because it says again.
But I don't know. But now everything sounds the same. Yes, everything sounds the same.
It's different. It's different.
Yeah.
It is definitely different.
You probably like see somebody start singing, and you be like, it made me think about this artist. You see what I mean? So it's like it sounds the same. Like you cannot really tell the difference.
Yes.
The people are different, but the way, the bits and all that, so it's still the same. No difference. But I don't know. I think I like it when it's different. So you kind of know everybody has their own style.
And that's what we want. We want each person to express themselves in a way that makes sense for them, so that they can put their ideas out there. And you can either say, I like that, or, that gives me an idea. I can do that, and I can go this direction.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So your eyes go with it.
Yeah, it sounds great. What would you say about self-awareness? Do you think it's like people can learn from it, or is it just a thought?
It is, like I said, with the emotional intelligence, that is the single most important thing I think we have to do. I have to become aware of me and why I react as I do. What are those things that people say that makes me angry, that makes me happy, that makes me sad? And I need to ask myself, the question that I ask myself now as an older adult, if I have a reaction to someone's behavior, statement, whatever, I ask myself, what is it about me that caused me to react to that stimulus in that particular way? Because I can't control that other person, or I can't control whatever it was that was said. But the only thing I can control is how I reacted to that. The other thing is, I don't want anything outside of me to be able to make me overreact. Because that means that they are controlling me. Now, that doesn't mean because I don't react, that doesn't mean I'm not upset, that doesn't mean I'm not angry, that doesn't mean I'm not going to do anything about it, but I don't want it to be able to touch me, dismay me. Every time you touch me on the shoulder, I don't want that to happen. And
I
so
get
I
you.
take ownership
Okay.
for my reactions. And so that's the self-awareness. And the only way I can do that is to ask myself the question, what was it that caused me to step out that way, to not do this, to not do that? That to me is so, so critical. And that's the start of life and living. Self-awareness.
How do you identify your blind spot?
Blind spots, very, very similar to that of, I would say, take a risk.
Okay.
Put yourself in vulnerable situations. Do that with people who care about you, who love you. Yeah, you don't want to do that
You
with people.
challenge yourself.
Yeah, challenge, yes. Push yourself out there. And if I see something, I just talked to a friend of mine today, and two people that they were discussing, looking at the same thing, but had two different. I said, "Well, what's the issue?" Well, I said, wait. You could do that. They could do that. And what you do would not affect them, and what they. So what's the argument? Why are you debate? What is the issue that's going on there? And so I talked for a while, and it was almost like I'm not getting why there's a potential for a hassle, unless because one was saying one wants to control me, but they can't control you because what you're doing is different than what they're doing.
Yes.
You know, and so that was a really interesting. And people, man, you got to ask
I think people are
someone.
different and they understand certain things differently.
Yes, well, that's an absolute fact, and that's why that situation there was so hard for me. Like, don't you understand? You are two different people. You're looking at the same thing, but walking away with two conclusions.
Yes.
And if you want if you want A, then you do A. If they want Z, you do Z. But why you got to try to control my A, or I'm going to try to control your Z? You know. So it is so important for I think for us as people to just when I react to something, I want to know why I'm reacting to it. If I'm reacting to something because I'm happy, what is it that makes me happy? Because I may want to go buy some more of that happy stuff, whatever it was. No, I'm no smoking, no drinking. I don't mean that kind of happy stuff. I mean a book or movie or TV, whatever. And if something makes me sad, then first of all, I need to find out why it makes me sad. And then next thing I want to do is make sure I don't want to be involved in other things that are going to make me sad unless I'm testing my sadness level. How sad can I get?
Okay. You don't want to do that.
But I'm being conscious of that. If I'm doing that, I'm being conscious of it. Something to write down, you know. So I think that would.
By you talking about that, so that made me realize that's why I think some teachers kind of punish kids when they find out they were cheating on a test or something. Because I realized that since we're a whole different people in just one group and we end up being in the same classroom, it comes out your idea is not going to be the same thing as mine, even though we have the same topic that we have to talk about.
Absolutely.
Or do some explanations. I mean, I learned pretty late. So.
Yeah, I think that, and also I think rather than what I would ask is what's going on in this child's life that caused them to cheat, as opposed to being able to come up that idea, that concept on their own. So what is happening is deeper than what we might see, and maybe what's happening as a teacher, maybe I'm not approaching that child in a way that will allow him or her to be able to understand what I'm saying, or is it something that's not happening at home? And I think as a teacher, I should not be, I don't want to be punitive all the time. I want to hold them accountable. But I also want to be able to maybe share with them another approach, another step, another thing that they could do so they don't find themselves
or
in that
maybe
situation.
ask some questions.
Yes.
And then see how they're going to respond to that question. So now you can have an idea, okay, so he does understand it differently. That's why he was thinking about.
Absolutely. And then so next time write a paper on that or add that into it. Yeah. And that's getting outside of everybody needs to be thinking the same way at the same time. Blah, blah, the traditional
It
school.
can be.
Yeah.
I think the world, like, it's not gonna make sense if everybody think the same way.
Terrible.
It would be so
How
terrible.
boring. I mean, just look at all the stuff that we've been
Just imagine if you said something, I'd be like, "Oh yes, 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 yes,
Yeah,
yes."
yeah.
You would feel bored at some point.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You'd be like, "Why you never say no at once? Just make some changes."
Absolutely. And I want to get something new from somebody else.
Oh,
Have a
yes.
conversation you agree with. Yeah, I agree with you. No, why you agree with me on everything? I don't believe you. You lied.
Oh yes, you're right about that. I guess parents do that like pretty clear
Oh.
because sometimes mom can be a certain way and dad can be a certain way.
Amen. Always.
And that's how I find out. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I came from a household that sometimes mom can be, you can talk to mom perfectly most of the time.
Right.
And then dad on the side, like, it's like how can I say this? The way he is, he's like a soldier, the type of
Okay,
thing.
military, yeah.
Because you
so.
cannot really approach him that much. You
Right,
see what I
right,
mean?
right.
Not all the time.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you approach dad, you have to know like that thing is really serious. Because him, he's gonna ask himself, why didn't you go to talk to mom? What happened? Because he's gonna ask mom after you leave.
Right. Oh, you know they're gonna do
Oh yeah,
that.
he's gonna do that. He'll be like, okay, did she spoke to you about this? What's going on? What was your answer? Why she come up to me? So all these questions gonna come up. I think they explained that pretty well for us.
But his phone died.
Almost.
We got I
them.
only have 75 more questions for you.
Oh, okay. No, we're not gonna do this. No, we're not. Okay, so what role does accountability do in your growth?
Oh,
What role does it play?
everything. If you are not accountable, then how do you know how to move forward? If I'm not accountable, then I can do anything and I can get away with it and I think it's okay. But unless someone holds me accountable, it sets direction for me.
Okay.
It educates me. It tells me what will work well, what will not work well. Growth. I think accountability is a base. It's a foundation.
It makes you learn too.
Oh yeah, that's because I can do something just like we were saying with school. And even though the teacher is going to talk to me, they still have to hold me accountable for completing that work. And did you complete the work? And then if we didn't, that starts a dialogue. That starts opening. In relationships, accountability, what roles we play in relationships with each other. Buying a house, building a house, paying the bills, renting a house. If you're doing anything with anyone in a joint engagement, I have certain things that I have to do. You have certain things you have to do. Then we bring those personal things together. So accountability is critical. I don't think how could I grow? How could anyone grow without accountability? Unless someone is there doing it for them all the time. But at some point in time,
They're not gonna. I think they probably not gonna do any efforts
no.
from their side because they be like, "Oh, I was doing this, so nobody says anything."
And where would the growth come from? I would have zero growth if I'm not accountable. Because I think I can always do it this way and get away with it. That's why I see when I look at behaviors that I see more with young boys. If their parents just allow them to do anything and they don't hold them accountable, then when they step out here, run into law enforcement or situation like that, that's where they can really get into some real trouble. And they don't want to own anything. They don't want to own what I did, why I did it, so I can't improve myself.
I think they probably realized that parents or whoever was around them was teaching them wrong.
Right.
Because as soon as you maybe step outside of your comfort zone, people usually have around, and then you go somewhere else and do this, the same thing.
Same thing, yeah.
That's when the question's gonna come.
People say,
And we're like,
what?
okay, your parents raised you like that, or
Right.
what happened?
Right,
You
right.
see what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
it's a whole different thing.
Oh, it is. It is. And even take little babies where if you don't hold them accountable. I have 3 great grandchildren that are right around 2.5 years old. And all of them are in various ongoing basis are being held accountable for little things that they do.
Oh,
You have to
you
pick
said there
this
were
up.
2?
Yeah, 2. Yeah,
Oh my
little things. Baby, we
God.
told you to throw that in the trash. Don't leave that saying there. Blah blah blah. But they're doing it, and I'm
Yeah, yes.
amazed that they do it. And the things that they do. In one of the schools, I think it's a Montessori school. The accountability is for lunch. All the kids go and get their own dishes. They get their dish. They get their silverware. They get their cups. And in some cases, they even fix their little plates. Yes, you should. It is amazing. And then when they're finished, they have to take their plates and they have to put what's left in the trash. And I don't know. I think there's some place they deposit them, and they have to do that before they come back to sit around and play with the toys. So when they're at
And
home,
they're learning.
oh yeah, I look at it myself. I say, "Wow, man, y'all on it, boy." And with one of my grandsons, he's responsible. Great grand. He's responsible at night and in the morning to brush his own teeth. Well, they have 2 different toothbrushes. His is one color, and then theirs is another color. So they'll let him do what he does. Probably eat the toothpaste. But then the parents come behind him and really brush his teeth to make sure that. But he knows that he's supposed to get up in the morning, brush his teeth, blah, 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 blah. I mean, and he does it. And he's just smiling, just as happy, think he's doing something.
I mean, that's really helped them because there's some kids that don't know how to do that.
I know, don't know how to do anything. And you see them, some others like, dang, they don't know how to do anything. Even potty training.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so that's another one.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I did work in a daycare before.
Oh, so you know.
It didn't last long because
It didn't last long.
okay, so basically it didn't last long because first of all the schedule was not really good for me,
Okay.
and also
Oh, yeah,
So-
the money's low. Oh,
so
absolutely,
I said
absolutely.
I got more responsibilities than that,
Right.
but it was such a great experience to have all these kids around, and then we have them that learns differently.
Right.
There's some of them that have the same age, but they don't do certain
Right.
things the same way.
That's right.
And some of them don't even talk.
Right.
But they can do gestures
That's right.
for, like, when you talk to them, they probably, like, with their little fingers and
Yeah.
tell you certain things. You be like, okay, this is called this. And then trying to help them and make them repeat.
right.
It was pretty interesting. And I
It
really
is.
loved it. Most all of them used to call me mom.
That's beautiful, though. It's beautiful. They're
Yeah, and
babies,
then I remember the helper that I was with. She used to say, "No, her name is Miss Karen.
they
Do
really
not
do.
call
Okay,
her
the
mom."
mom.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. That's
they
another
were
piece
calling
of it.
me mom, and then so I remember there was one of them. She was very creative. It comes out when you give them breakfast in the morning. There's some of them that don't eat the same thing as the other
Right.
ones. They probably have allergies to certain foods,
Yeah,
or they're
right.
probably not gonna eat it. So it comes out when you give them breakfast. Everybody eat breakfast and all that. And then when it comes to lunchtime, you have to check and clean them up. Like show them where to wash their hands.
Hands, right.
And they do a little line. So everybody goes and like wait for their turn to
Right.
wash their hands. It was so beautiful to
Yes.
see them all that. And then after they do that, we put down them on on chairs and all that,
Right.
little table, and then we fix the food for them, each of them. It comes out there was one little girl. If nobody else eats their food at the table, she gonna take it.
Oh, really?
Yes, she
She
does.
would.
Once you get her name was her name stay on my mind. Her name was Ramatullah.
Ramatullah.
Yes, she was short, pretty short. Her little tiny feet when she's coming in front of me, like she looks like a doll that's alive.
I love it.
It comes out. I put her on the table, and then we're giving foods and all that. I give Ramatullah hers. I was not done with the others. And there was like one, I think his name was Wes or something, but he was older than her. It comes out, Wes didn't want to eat. And then she was done with her food.
Oh, and she
And
went
she
his.
grabbed his plate.
Wow.
And then when I turned around, the plate was empty.
Wow.
And she
was eating. Wow.
She pushed the chair and go around to see everybody who don't eat, and she grabbed their food.
Isn't that amazing?
I was like, oh my goodness. I said, like, you see, if you don't eat Ramatullah, we eat
Right,
your
with your food, right, yeah.
We
But
be
isn't
saying,
that
I said,
amazing?
do you
What
want
was
her
it
to
about
take
the
your
food?
food? They be like, no. You need to eat.
Right.
Bro, she literally leave her seats
To go get
somebody else's food, because it seems like, and I think in her mind they're wasting the food.
You know what? I wonder, is that a learned behavior at home? And does she see her brothers or sisters or somebody else do that kind of
I
stuff?
don't know, and I think like from what I've seen since I was like used to clean them up and all that,
Right.
I can see that she does eat everything.
Oh,
She does everything.
That's just her. She just likes eating.
Yeah, as soon as you see Ramatullah is not taking somebody else's food, she's not eating her food fast,
Right.
you have to know something is wrong with her. It's either she's
Wow.
sick or something.
Yeah.
And then
It
when
could be. You
she's
just
sick,
never know.
she'd be like all by herself. She wants you to hold her more.
Oh,
But she's a
baby,
very
that's
creative. As soon as she's done eating, you put her like to play. She grabbed the stuff and then grabbed the
energy.
book, saying names and all that. She was very intelligent.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, she was very interesting. I really loved her and all that. So yeah.
And that just shows you, at that age, what's going on. Part of that innate qualities, part of that socialization stuff.
Oh yes, and all that.
Yeah. They show up with a whole lot of uniqueness.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they used to do that. You know, it was pretty interesting, and then it was such a great experience for me. I mean, my mom used to talk about it because she used to be a teacher.
Oh, your mom was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she used to be a teacher. She loved that. Her dream was her to have a big school
Oh, really?
at my country, and then she had like a whole plan.
No,
She wrote all her
you're
plan down.
you're
I'm from Haiti.
Hey, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I want to go to Haiti so bad and make a contribution. I would love to.
Well, the part that you can go right now, yeah, you can learn a lot of stuff, but sadly,
Yeah, I know.
the places that I know and I've gone in school and people that I know now is a lot of people have left to go different places.
Yeah.
And the place that we can go now, you're probably not gonna know anybody there.
Yeah.
You'll be like it seems like you in your country, but you'll be like a stranger
Yeah,
at some
stranger
point.
in your own country. Yeah, and the people don't know the history because America, France, and Britain, they're the ones that really totally disrespected Haiti. And they were
We proved them wrong anyways.
They were oppressive.
We fought back.
Oh, yeah.
And then we came out to help other people to, to have the liberty from other,
I know, you started. Haiti started it. They were the first.
Oh, yes.
And that's why they wanted to punish them, because they didn't want other countries, other islands to do the same thing that Haiti did.
You read about that? And I think they're scared of us.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Do they?
Well, what did I say? That's what I said earlier about just in general.
Yeah, I don't know. I think sometimes it was supposed to be racism at some point.
It was racist.
And when I say like they were not really think about that, I mean, I'm just going to explain to you. So I think since we were able to do all of this, so just imagine if they don't put pressure on us, what else we can do? We can surprise them more. You see what I mean? It seems like we can surprise them more. So they trying to put that mindset on you and be like, you're nothing.
Absolutely.
You are not able to do this. You're not able to do that. And then if you kind of the person who would like to step out, you're going to believe that.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like I've been seeing some people, for example, I can be talking to you and you say something about me. And I'll be like, oh, you see, I talked to Mr. White and then he told me that I couldn't do it. And I stick to that, what you said.
And that comes from way, way back. I mean, remember, it was slavery. And whenever the people who were perceived as being less than becomes better than the owners, that's pure panic.
I'm telling you.
And they didn't want that to happen throughout the rest of the islands. And they certainly didn't want it to happen throughout the United States of America.
Yeah.
And that's why it took us 250 years 250 years of slavery in the USA.
It's a long way.
You know, that's pure racism. That's embedded. It's deep. It's deep. Even to this day.
All right, I got some few questions for
Okay,
you.
all right.
Okay, do you think someone can become successful without become self-aware?
No. I think it's impossible.
Great answer.
Unless they had a lot of power.
Okay.
But I don't think they're successful then. Because I think if they just use their power to achieve it, I think they're probably going to be brutal. They're going to be a dictator, you know. So and so therefore, how would one define success?
I think it's like trying to explain something that you've never been through or something that you never experienced.
Would that be success?
No. I'm just
Oh,
saying
yeah.
that's how it sounds. Because if you use your power, it seems like you think that you can describe something that you never do
Experience,
or
yeah.
experience.
Yeah, because power is and it's usually based off the ego, and the ego is what drives people to utilize their power to get the things that they want, as opposed to being able to share with people.
Okay, so what is the biggest lie you think people tell themselves?
The biggest lie, I can't.
He got me straight up.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was quick.
Yeah.
You're right about that. Okay, so connect to your audience interest in history and persevering stories. What is persevering stories important? Yes.
Oh, when you start to think about it, I know for the African culture, most of the history was passed on through stories. They weren't written down. So stories are and it's not ours, Native Americans, a lot of populations, they passed on their history through stories. And stories were passed down from one generation to the next generation to the next generation. If we look at families, in their family, I can't, there was untold number of stories that people shared. When we would have our family reunions, we would have, at times, we had as many as 350 people at our family reunion. And everyone would tell everybody about their cousins and uncles and aunts and what have you, and how they grew up and what they did when they were little, and all that stuff was going on. So the storytelling was great, and you like to be around some of your aunties. I remember aunties more so than uncles. Well, no. Some of my uncles told some stories. They told them in different ways. Usually had a bottle beside them, and they told their stories.
Oh my God.
They weren't drunk, but they just like they were sipping and sharing that data, sharing that. But they told you stories, so I think it's important.
What happens when communities stop documenting their history?
Ooh, they die.
They die?
Yeah, when you stop documenting your history, it's gone. I mean, unless you keep the stories.
Okay.
If they keep the stories going, yes. But if they aren't telling the stories and not documenting, and really in a way, the story is documenting it. My verbal story is documenting my history in one form, but the other way to really document it so that when I'm gone, it can still live on, is to be able to put it down in writing.
Why do you think families should record their elders?
Ooh, I think for just that reason. My grandson, Jordan, he called me one day and said, "Granddad, I want to hook up with you on Zoom." I said, "Okay, yeah, what you want to do?" For 2 hours, he talked to me for 2 hours on Zoom and recorded that information, with the whole notion that I'm not going to be here forever. So not only would he have the stories, but would have the videos. And so I think because of that you learn so much from your families and what they were about and what they did. And that's where you get those ideas. I didn't know Uncle so-and-so did this. I didn't know they owned their own business. My Uncle Sticky, even though he worked down at the steel mill, he had the trash truck, man. And Uncle Sticky, that was a rite of passage. If you were a boy, you had to work on Uncle Sticky's trash truck. Uncle Sticky would work you all day long on the Saturday and give you $2. But talking about accountability and responsibility and
Okay.
taking ownership, we all learn from that. And to this day, you know, I share that with the other younger family members.
That's really important. What wisdom from your generation is disappearing?
The wisdom from my generation. I don't know if I would look at what wisdom, I, probably based upon what you just said, if people aren't talking to the elders, then we're not picking up on that wisdom. We're not picking up on that insight. So I don't know if is it disappearing or are young people not talk? Well, that maybe young people aren't talking to the elders today as much as they used to, because before we didn't have phones and what have you, and there would probably be more dialogue, more conversation that we would be having with people who are older or younger people thinking like, what do they know? You know, here we are, this is a whole new world. You know, they don't need to talk. Just make sure they get some Similac or not Similac, baby get Similac. What's that other? Insure.
Oh, Insure.
Get some Insure or what have you. But that is so disrespectful, because if you have family members and they're older, just by them being older says they did something right. Or else they wouldn't be older. They would not have made it, right?
Okay.
So if nothing else, how did you get to be this age and still do what you do? You know?
Oh, yes.
So I think that would be it.
And I think it's very beautiful to have a elders family close to you. In my opinion, I'm not gonna lie to you, I do miss my grandma and my grandpa.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
They're not here no more.
Yeah.
And my grandma, when she was alive, back then we were still in Haiti, she used to, when she come to visit us, she used to be like, go in my dad's house. And I remembered that at night, we used to sit around her and do a little circle.
Oh.
And she be telling us stories.
See there, that's that story.
She be telling us stories. We learn a little, like some songs from her.
Oh,
and I used to, and you know what? It's dark.
Yeah.
Just a little candle that's on, and that's it.
Wow.
It used to be
Just
so
the thought of that,
beautiful.
that's beautiful. That just
Yeah,
sounds
they don't
great.
do this now anymore.
See there? Oh man. So then who is it are we not getting the stories because they aren't being asked? Can you get young people to even stop long enough to sit down with grandparents?
I think, like you said, technology take away a lot of things.
Yeah.
And because of that, you might have something that's pretty important close to you. And then it comes that because of you have your phone, you're so focused on that. And then you so focused on scrolling and different apps and all that throughout the day. And it comes out, you are missing something important.
Yes.
And you don't even realize that until it's not there anymore.
It's gone. My great-grandchildren, who are now 10, 12, these are the older ones, 10, 12, and 14. Whenever I'm talking with them, they have their cell phones. And they're doing this. And so I have to tell them, put down the phones. Let's talk. And so they're in the room, they're in the space. If they don't have a question for you, then they're not listening to you. They're on the cell phone. So I think that does take away a lot of things that they could hear and listen, and lessons, life lessons that they can learn just by. I remember grandmother used to say that, Mom. So-and-so used to say, yeah, those kind of things.
And I think it goes a long way, because if me especially, if I'm talking to you, you have your phone in your hand, I feel like, can you please look at me? I feel like if you're not looking at me, you are not listening.
It's disrespectful. It really is disrespectful.
I feel like you're not listening.
You're right. And they're not. They say, I can hear you. I can. No, you can't.
Guess what? My dad, when, like, for example, if we were talking to him, he probably have his phone, right? And I'd be like, Dad, are you listening? Oh, yeah, I'm listening. But put your phone down. And guess what? They're adult. They'll be like, okay, adult can do whatever they want. But when it comes to you, if they're speaking to you, they will snatch that phone away.
Off you, right.
So I'll be like, if you
so
can
then hold
snatch
us
my phone
accountable.
away, so you do kind of understand when it
Yes.
comes to my turn
right.
how I feel about
That's
it.
right. And that's where accountability comes in. So
You're
the
right.
accountability is on us just the same as it is on your younger folks. The accountability is there.
You know, Mom used to get mad if she started talking and then I put my headphones on.
Oh, yes. Oh, well,
You know, like she was like, okay, so you put your headphones on so I can start talking.
right.
Okay, so this was story
Yeah.
that one day I went out, and then I think I went out with an uncle of mine. So I was well dressed and all that. She was preparing food for the church. They were having a party and all that. I usually help her out, but that time she has her little sister close to her. You know, they were talking, and then
Okay.
they were putting
Okay.
seasoning on the meat and all that. So it comes my turn. She said, Karen, can you wash those dishes for me? And I was like, okay, Ma, no problem. With the clothes I'm on, I went and washed them.
Ooh.
And she was like, why don't you change your clothes? I need you in the kitchen with me. And she said, you're gonna kind of like, your clothes gonna get dirty. And I said, no, I'll be all right. It comes out, there's a pants that I bought. She don't like when I wear oversized clothes.
She didn't like it.
So I know she hate that pants.
Oh, so that was
And
so
that
late.
day, I was like, Mom talked too much.
Yeah.
When she told me to change my clothes, I didn't want to change the clothes. I guarantee that I didn't want to change it. So, and I told her I could do everything with the clothes on. Nothing gonna happen.
Did you mess them up?
And then when I went upstairs, I changed my clothes. I put the pants, and I passed by the kitchen, you know, acting like I'm happy, and deep down I know I'm not. And she was like, so you put that pants on so I can stop talking? I must still talk. Guess what? This is the last time you're gonna work because I'm gonna tear it out. And I was like,
I've heard that.
you know, I went to the bathroom and I was laughing like crazy because I know I did that to make her mad.
Absolutely.
And talk more
And
because
she
she
knew
didn't
it.
like it.
Right.
Yeah, as soon as I come down to the kitchen, she was like, oh yeah, you put that pants on so I can stop talking. This is the last time that you are wearing it.
I love it.
So it was so funny because like I know I did that to make her
Intentionally,
mad.
yeah.
And then I went to the bathroom. I was like laughing like crazy. I said, damn, I did make her like worse than what she was earlier.
That's that nonverbal stuff.
Oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. She's not,
It's
but she was
allowed.
like, when she does something or I probably get mad, I'm not gonna say anything.
That's best.
But it's either my face,
oh yeah.
it's either
Your
my face,
nonverbals, right?
or maybe if it's about her clothes, I would
Right,
definitely put
right,
something
the
that she doesn't
behavior,
like.
right, yeah.
And now she, you know, she's gonna get upset and everything.
yeah.
So she be like, Karen, don't talk, but her face is telling you something
Sends me a
else.
message.
Even the laugh cannot come clearly. You know when you're mad, like you be like fake smiles. Because as soon as you do like, and then you go straight. You got a straight face like right behind it.
Right.
Yeah, everybody knows. Okay, that's fake. She's not real.
That is so cute.
Oh,
That is
yeah,
so
that's
good.
how it
the
is.
nonverbals is strong.
Oh yeah, tell me about it, cause I'm one.
We all do it.
Oh yeah. So if someone interview you 100 years ago from now, what would you want them to know about your generation?
100 years from now, what would I want them to know about my generation? Ooh, that's a good question. What would I want them to know about my generation? I think I know what it is. That we were survivors. When I look at what we went through, we were the age where, and not all of us, but you know, you had those separate bathrooms. You know, when I tried to get an apartment, even in the military, they wouldn't rent to me because I was black.
Oh.
I bought a trailer. They wouldn't let me park my trailer in the trailer park because I was black.
Oh my God.
In certain parts of town, you had to be out by dusk. Because if you get caught in town and there was dust, you could get killed. If you were, if you had a nice house and you really took good care of it, but you were better than some of the white folks' homes,
Okay.
they would, in some cases, they would say be out of town by sunset. They would take your home, they would take your property,
So
whatever.
they would take your property, something that's yours, and give it to somebody else?
They would keep it among themselves or sell it or whatever.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah, so those are the things that my generation went through. I was blessed that I didn't experience all of those. Some of them I experienced, but I have other people who, good friends who lived in the South, and they said every day they had to fight their way home, had to fight the white guys, or if they were walking down the street and white folks were coming on the same sidewalk, they had to
You
get
have to
off the
switch?
sidewalk
Yeah.
to let them go by, then they could get back on the sidewalk. So I think that we were a survivor, and we were probably initially kind of quiet survivors. But
Okay.
then with the protests and the marching, that's when we really started to, especially when TV became popular, because what we wanted was people throughout the world
To know.
to see what was going on, because before that they didn't know, setting the dogs on you, the fire hoses, all that kind. So I think that would be probably the thing that I would want people to know about my generation. And still we survived. You know, still we survived. And I think it left
Do
us
you
a
think it's still
scar.
happening till this day?
I think to a degree, in certain, probably in some way out places, yeah. And I think that maybe it's not getting off the sidewalk, but there may be other kinds of things that they know that if they took that path, that there would be much more resistance.
Okay.
And if they protest, they had to worry about maybe, you know, on your job, or you wouldn't get a promotion, or, you know, things like that. I think that there are places that are still
Spending
happening.
years doing the same job?
Yep. No pay increases, things like that. Yeah, it's real. I know, it's unbelievable.
It is. Sometimes I do ask myself, was that real? Was it really true?
Yes, absolutely.
But when it comes out to see there's some survivors that were still alive and kind of explaining when they were little, like how their parents were trying to survive,
Right.
how they were trying to protect them for certain stuff, and what they were going through.
And being lynched. Yeah,
It is
yeah,
hurtful
yeah.
and
That
unbelievable.
was real. That's why I say I can shoot a weapon really well now. I find
Okay.
expert in the military.
Oh my God. Okay. Sounds wonderful. Okay, so what does purpose over popularity means to you?
Purpose over popularity. I would say that popularity does not necessarily mean that you have achieved those things that need to really be taken care of. Because being popular doesn't mean that what you have been doing or what you've been trying to do has been able to be successful. But with purpose, I'm moving for a reason. And I would imagine that with purpose, I could have popularity, maybe not for the same reasons. You know, so popularity because you are a good talker, dancer, basketball player, blah, 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 blah. But, and that's a good one. Look at all those brothers who, as a matter of fact, last night, one of the guys on one of the teams gave up $1 million. They were going to give him $1 million more on his salary. But he said, I would rather for you to split that money up and hire 2 more people. And so they have millions of dollars, so they're popular. But what's their purpose? What are they doing? I mean, how many of them are giving money back into the community, developing kids or a school. Because what we find is that once they retire, 81% are broke. So do something with that money. If you have all those dollars, how can you ensure that someone else will benefit from the amount of money that you have been able to generate, and not that you're just a popular person?
Great answer. How we become too focused on visibility and not enough on values.
Being able to, especially today, you young folks have much, much more latitude and technology to look a certain way.
Oh my God.
And we didn't have that, so it wasn't even a question.
Okay.
Those are things that we didn't even look at. Was this visibility and purpose?
No,
This one was
like, is it how we became too focused on visibility
yeah,
and not
okay,
enough on
yeah, right.
values? Yeah.
So therefore, is it more important to look a certain way than to have certain kinds of values? And if I then, I was going to use a word, I'm not going to use that word. If I then focus more on how I look as opposed to what my values are, is that going to distract me from achieving some things that I wanted to achieve or being the person that I want to? Because we know that looks don't last.
Yes, because you cannot have looks without a brain.
Yes, yes, yes. The bad
Beauty
news.
with brain is the most important
Oh,
thing.
the brain is the name of the game. Yes,
You became
absolutely.
more beautiful.
Right, yeah. And even with that, I mean, and it doesn't mean that because, I'm thinking and I have values that I can't also look attractive. But it's not,
You're right
that's
about
not going to
that.
be the driver. That's not going to be my primary driver.
Your wonderful answers.
Okay.
I'm gonna look back to this interview, the whole thing. Oh yes, I'm learning a lot today. My other questions for you will be: what is the danger of chasing attention?
The danger of chasing attention is you get distracted from your real purpose and what you really want in life. Unless you want to be a movie star or a model. Now, if you want to be the model and attention is going to get that, but I think even then it could be distracted because someone could say they could give you the attention, but not for the right reason, or they could take advantage of you. They could abuse you, which happened to a lot of. I hear more young ladies when they went to California to be the movie star. Many of them were abused because they thought that attention and looking a certain way, and people would use them and gave them a promise, but
Nothing works.
nothing came out from it.
It comes with technology too, because
Oh
there's a lot
yeah.
of fake people behind a camera
Oh,
or a
absolutely.
phone, and you get fake promises and all that.
Same,
And
yes.
right now, you don't even know what is real and what is
I
fake,
know you don't. You
because
really
you
don't.
got AI
I
everywhere.
know you really don't. It's challenging now. It is really challenging.
It is, and it's sad too. So, what would you tell a young creator that is trying to grow online?
I would say a young person, this creator that's trying to grow in life. I think I would go back to some of the fundamental things that I mentioned. If you want to grow in life, I think again, you have to know yourself. You have to be able to manage yourself, and then you have to know what is it that I want to do. What is it, that thing, that burning desire that I want to have to be able to do those certain kind of things. So I said, get grounded in that way. And the piece that I'm pushing right now is emotional intelligence. If they can master emotional intelligence, they would be positioned to achieve any kind of goal that they want to go after, because then they get to know themselves and they know what they want. And then they'll put together the steps or You put together a plan. You do your prioritizing and what do I need,
Like a
and then
plan.
right, you put together that plan, and then you can follow that plan. And because you put together a plan doesn't mean you have to always follow it exactly. The plan could change, but at least you have a place to get started. And failure to plan is planning to fail. Failure to plan
Wow,
is planning to fail.
that's big.
Yeah.
What should people bid first, in your opinion? Is it influence, income, or character?
Character.
You think character come along with all of this?
I think character will give you those others.
It's like the base,
If,
like a base,
yes,
a foundation.
right. Because character will give you influence, and then influence will give you income. Because I think that the character will carry you through some really crazy challenges that you may have. Because you have character and you have presence. You'll be able to see people, and people will know that I really want this person. I really, really, this is the person. We had that dialogue, that conversation, it made sense, yeah. I tried to work them this way, work them that way, it didn't work, yeah.
Okay. In one word, it would be like short answers. What do you think about success?
About the success?
Yeah.
Ooh. First of all, it depends. Each person has their own definition. I guess the best way I can give you for success, up on Hamilton Road some time ago, if you were traveling north on Hamilton Road, just before you get to Broad Street, there was a family in a home. It's probably a 2-bedroom, kitchen, bathroom, third floor was probably covered the entire house, the length of the house. And they were older couple, and their garage faced Hamilton Road. And on nice days, what I would see is that they had a swing, a wooden swing on a chain that they would hang up in the doorway of their garage, the opening of their garage. And then if you drive by in the evening, they took that swing down and set it to the side, and went into their home. And for years, I would see them out there just swinging on their little swing, And then what I got, I've never met them or anything, but what I thought is probably the kids are gone. It's just the two of them. They could have built a big deck, but we don't need no big deck. All we do is swing. So we come out, we hang up a swing on it. When we get finished, we take it down, set it aside, go back in the house. And they seem to be happy and successful. Because that's all they wanted and needed. Whereas there are people who had a house like that, and after the kids left, they wanted a bigger house. They wanted a bigger deck. They wanted a bigger garage. Now, if they had the funds to do that, then great. But they were stretching to do that, then that to me is not success. Those people to me were successful as can be, because it seemed like it was all there. So I'm just saying that to say that success has to be defined by the individual or the individuals who are there. And I would think success is when you're able to achieve those things and you're not pressured all the time. You're not chasing money, or you're not chasing the Joneses, and we got to do something because somebody else did it, and we got so and so did it, and all that. That to me is not success. That's pain. That's pain. That's challenge. So success would be in the eyes of the beholder, and what I define that makes sense for me as a person, as an individual.
What does faith means to you?
Faith. Believing in something that probably doesn't have to be a higher power. Believing that through a set of principles that I adopt and that I live by, I'll be able to achieve those things that I want in life and be able to maybe achieve those things that would allow me to feel that I am successful. So it's and faith is it's it is me, but it's bigger than me, because the faith is about things unseen. But knowing that I'm on the path and I'm willing to do what's necessary to be able to fulfill that, I'm be able to work to make that my reality.
What does leadership means to you?
Sign of a true leader is one who could influence people over whom they have no control. So leadership says that I am probably integrity based, and that I'm going to do the right thing for the right reasons, and people will follow me because I'm doing those things. That's either helping the company, and then I'm doing those things that will help the people, and I'm doing those things that will help the client. And I don't have to bribe anyone to do that. They probably look at my values that I exhibit. They probably see that I treat people with respect, value, respect, and appreciation. Inconsistent, and I'm willing to, if I didn't do things the right way, I'm willing to acknowledge that and admit it, stand up to it, and then say, okay, what do we do now?
What about discipline?
Ooh, discipline, discipline, discipline. Probably say, what is discipline? I think discipline would be the goals for the values that I live by, the values that I set and principles that I set and I live by. And then, regardless to who's around, I will follow that plan. So that probably would be discipline. Take the action that's necessary to achieve a particular goal or a particular objective. Would be disciplined in the eyes of the beholder. Because a failure may, failure, other people may have to, I have to define what's failure for me. But what would I call failure? Probably the truth is that failure probably would be me acknowledging that I was not able to achieve a particular task or goal. But it's only failure if I don't then say, I learned a lot from that one, and now I'm going to go do this one. I think the thing that makes scientists successful is failure. I tried it, and it didn't work that way. So we know now that if we want to get that done, that is definitely not the thing to do. So based upon that, we now can move over here and start to do something. So failure is if you probably accept that challenge that was placed before you that you could not overcome. If you accept that and stop, that to me would be failure. But otherwise, it's just a series of experiences and trying to do something, you know, that makes sense.
It does. Mr. White, if this was the last conversation we ever recorded together, what message would you leave for the next generation?
I would probably, to me, the thing that's important is my relationship with other people. My quality and integrity-based relationships that I have with people. And I always want to be able to have meaningful, integrity-based relationships with people. Doesn't mean we're going to hang out. Doesn't mean you're my best friend. But it means that I was open and honest with you. And I came from a place that I felt was at that moment the right time, the right thing to do, and that I was integrity based. I think that's probably that to me will allow me to just continue to move forward and allow anyone to continue. Because even if you have a mishap with someone, if you have the person said the person they were just integrity based, man. I don't necessarily like what they said or what they did, but they did not lie. They just told me what they felt. I think that would be the message. That's the start. Because you always need other people, and we get things done not by myself, but I get things done through collective, through doing things with other people. I don't know of anything that I can just do all and achieve that I can do all by myself. I mean, I could fix my own dinner or something like that. But
Yeah, you
really,
need some help. Is it some some ideas?
Yeah,
You see
but
what
I need other ideas and other people to make it happen.
It sounds wonderful.
Okay. It sounds good.
It sounds
Can
wonderful.
we do it?
It's really true.
Yeah, it
Yes,
is, yeah.
it's really true. And I think by having somebody who's helping you out, that motivates you too.
Oh yeah, and I learn.
Because if you're by yourself, you probably see that things is, the procedure is too long,
Right.
or I'm going to take too much time. But if you have somebody close to you or trying to help you out or something, you will get it done fast.
And new ideas.
Yes.
Because they're going to have ideas that I do not have.
You right about that.
Yeah. So.
Thank you for helping shape not only this platform, but many of the conversation that helped me understand what purpose over popularity means.
Oh, okay, great. Well, I thank you, and I just appreciate the interview from the female's perspective.
Oh, yes.
You did an outstanding job.
I've learned a lot from you, and then I figured out with this interview, there's a lot of questions that I really wanted to ask an elderly, an elderly person, somebody that have lived more and have experienced more things than I do, because I'm just learning still.
Yeah,
I'm young. You see what I mean? So, and I think by doing that, we learn a lot of things, and then it kind of makes you think about your life, your goals, your perspective, and to kind of maybe shape your goals in certain ways, and then kind of make you think differently about the path that you want to go along.
Yes, yes. And that's what people in relationships do to all of us.
Not everybody.
I hope.
We miss that. So, like we were saying, so we kind of miss all of this because we do not interact with people that much like we used to do.
Yes.
And then this is very, very important. I can say me as a young woman, there's some mistake that I probably have done in the past.
We all have.
Or maybe not having that conversation with you or maybe somebody else. It kind of helped me out to think more before I act.
Yes, that's good, and that's for all of us, though. So I think no matter how old you get, we still need to stop and pause and reflect on.
This is very important. I think young people should do that more.
Yeah, get so much out of it.
Because I'm not gonna lie to you, technology takes away a lot.
Does.
And I've realized that even at work. That some people, as soon as they know, okay, this job that you're going to, they don't accept phones. So you need to communicate with people.
That's right.
Even maybe everything is kind of slow at some point. If you have your phone, what you're gonna do? Probably listen to music,
right.
Scrolling up social media. But as soon as you don't have that privilege, you're gonna start talking to people, and that's when you start making friends.
That's right, and new dynamics will come from that.
Oh, yes, it does.
Dynamics. So.
All right, thank you very much. It was nice to meet you.
Pleasure was mine.
A lot to learn from you.
Yeah. We're sharing always.
Oh, yes, it was pretty good.
That was a method to his madness, right?
Oh, my God. Yes, he took me by surprise.